So nephelometry and turbidimetry. This is the study of scattering of light. As we know that when the electromagnetic radiation, that is the light, strikes or passes through a sample, through a solution, that is fundamental law of photometry. Some of the light or part of the light get absorbed by the sample, part of the light get reflected, part of light get transmitted. This is known as the simple fundamental law of photometry. So scattering, light scattered, light get reflected. So this scattering phenomenon is observed in nephelo and turbidimetry. The amount of light scattered is directly proportional to the concentration of the insoluble particles. Remember, that is the main difference. Scattering, absorption takes place, reflection takes place, transmission takes place, scattering takes place, etc., etc. Different phenomena are observed. So scattering is mostly and only by the insoluble particles, while those particles or those substances which are soluble in the particular solvent will show the absorption phenomenon. So just categorize all these phenomenon observed. Say absorption, when there is an absorption. What about the transmission, transmitted radiations? What about the reflection? What about the refraction? And what about the scattering? So scattering of light is mainly because of the insoluble particles, whereas the soluble particles will show absorption or say the transmission phenomenon or say emission phenomenon. So nepheloturbidimetry is one of the different technique useful for to measure the turbidity present in a given sample. So the amount of light scattered is proportional to the concentration of insoluble particles, insoluble substance. That is the main difference. So such substances are analyzed very well by nepheloturbidimetry. So in the introductory part of nephelo and turbidimetry, this is the study of scattering of light. The amount of light scattered is proportional to the concentration of insoluble particles. So focus on the concept of light scattering. When, how to measure, what about the instrumentation, how to measure the quantity. That means how to use the same technique for quantitative analysis. So whole study is related with the concept of light scattering. So this scattering phenomenon, scattering of light, this phenomenon may be measured, not maybe, measured by turbidimetry and nephelometer. Turbidimeter and nephelometer. So slight change in their instrumentation. First, let us see what is the difference in between the nephelometer and turbidimeter or nephelometry and turbidimetric technique. Okay, before starting with the instrumentation, let us see first theory. What do you mean by the nephelometry and what do you mean by the turbidimetry? So turbidimetry, it mainly deals with the measurement of intensity of transmitted light. Turbidimetry, it deals with the measurement of intensity of transmitted light, whereas nephelometry deals with the measurement of intensity of scattered light. That is the main difference. Turbidimetry, measurement of the transmitted light, whereas the nephelometry, measurement of the scattered light. So if you see the instrumentation, turbidimetric measurements are made at 180 degree from the incident beam of light. I will show in instrumentation. Turbidimetric measurements, the instrumentation is designed in such a way that it is 180 degree from the incident light beam. The measurement is around 180 degree from the incident light beam. Whereas in nephelometry, the intensity of scattered light is measured usually at right angle to the incident light beam. See, this is the turbidimetry. Okay. First, we see theory part. So, what is this scattering phenomenon? Light scattering phenomenon. The common example, the common observations that the blue color of the sky and the red color of the sun at the sunset results. Why? From their scattering of light of small dust particles. The observations say blue color of the sky and the red color of the sun at sunset. The result due to the scattering of light of small dust particles by the small dust particles and water molecules and the other gases in the atmosphere. We can take the example here for the discussion how the scattering of light takes place. So the observation of the blue color of the sky, red color of the sun at the sunset from the scattering of light, it is due to the scattering of light by the dust particles, by the water molecules and the other gases present in the atmosphere. So the efficiency of light, efficiency with which light is scattered, it depends upon its wavelength. So efficiency of the scattered light depends upon its wavelength. So the sky is blue because violet and blue light are scattered to a greater extent than other longer wavelength. This is the scattering phenomenon. The sky is blue because violet and blue light are scattered to a greater extent than the other wavelength. So in short, just try to understand that what we mean by the scattering, which parameters or which factors are responsible for the scattering of light. So there are many substances which produces the turbidity, which are insoluble substances. So to identify quantitatively, such substances are determined, identified by nephelo and turbidimetric analysis. Now here you can see the light source. The light passes through the sample. Turbidimetry is a right angle, while nepherometry is here at 180 degrees Celsius. So which factors affects on the scattering of light? Obviously, if the particle is insoluble, what about the concentration of the particles? First thing, again, Lambert's and Beer's law. Factors affecting on the scattering of light. The first factor is the concentration of particles, particle size, wavelength, distance of observation, and molecular weight of the particles or substance. So these factors are very important. Concentration, particle size, wavelength, distance of observations, and molecular weight of the particle. So let us see one by one. Concentration of particles in turbidimetry. Low concentration of particles for scattering of light. Again, Lambert's and Beer's law. If you want to study the Lambert's and Beer's law, so Lambert's and Beer's law will obey very well in dilute solutions. In low concentration solutions, we can observe the relationship of Lambert's and Beer's law very clearly. So turbulence is directly proportional to the concentration. Nephelometry, you can derive the equation, relationship between the intensity of scattered radiations, intensity of incident radiations, and concentration of the particle. Particle size. The fraction of light scattered at any angle depends upon the size and shape of the particles. Again, particle size. What about the size and shape of the particle? So depending upon the size and shape of the particle, the further scattering phenomenon is observed. And the same observation can also be made by using different angle. If you change the angle, definitely the scattering phenomenon, the measurement will again change. So the amount of scattering is directly proportional to the square of effective radius of the particle. The same thing, as there is change in angle, obviously the scattering phenomenon observation will also change. So the amount of scattering is directly proportional to the square of effective radius of the particle. So to control the particle size and shape, the sample solution and the standard must be prepared in under identical conditions. Identical conditions means what? The concentration must be very unit one. The purity of the sample, purity of the solvent, atmospheric conditions, glasswares, etc., etc. So the concentration of two ions forming PPT, ratio of concentration of the solutions, order of mixing of the PPT, temperature at which the suspension is prepared. Obviously, temperature will affect, the order of the mixing of the chemicals will also affect, concentration of the solution will also affect. So these are the very important conditions while preparing the sample for nephew and turbidimetry. If we see the small particles, these are the observations again in nephelometry. Incident beam, smaller size, smaller than 1/10 the wavelength of the light. Description symmetric. Large particles, incident beam, size approximately 1/4 the wavelength of light. Description scattering concentrated in forward direction. So what about the small particles? What about the large particles? And what about the scattering phenomenon in nephelometry? So this is very important. Particle size, shape, molecular weight, concentration, surrounding media, etc. So extreme concentration of scattering in forward directions, development of maxima and minima of scattering intensity. Maxima and minima. So smaller particles detection in nephelometry, large particle detection in turbidimetry. Smaller particle, symmetrical scattering. Again, the same discussion. So if you want to observe the good relationship of the Lambert's and Beer's law, so Lambert's and Beer's law will obey very correctly if the solution is dilute one. So in the same way, smaller particle will show the symmetrical scattering, whereas the larger particle size will show the unsymmetrical scattering. Another factor that is of wavelength. Intensity of scattered radiations. So depends upon the wavelength of the incident light. Shorter wavelength are scattered together to greater extent than the longer wavelength. Shorter wavelength are scattered to greater extent than the longer wavelength. So wavelength of light is chosen in such a way that analyte solution does not absorb strongly. That is also very important factor. Wavelength selection. Wavelength of light is in such a way that the analyte solution does not show any absorption, because we want to study the scattering phenomenon. We don't want here to study the absorption and the transmission, emission pattern. We want to study the scattering, and the scattering is only possible if there is a presence